Imagine you're sitting quietly, holding your favorite cup of tea. The warmth touches your hands, the aroma rises gently, and for a moment, everything feels perfect. But slowly, the tea cools, the flavor fades, and eventually, the cup is empty. Just like that, the moment is gone. And that's life, a series of moments, each passing, never staying. Have you ever wondered why good times don't last forever? Or why pain, no matter how deep, eventually softens? Why do we hold on to things, people, and feelings even when we know they're already slipping away? Every day, we go through situations that remind us everything changes. Nothing is meant to stay. Think about it. The laughter of children, the pain of arguments, the blooming of flowers, the wrinkles that slowly appear on our skin, all of it is constantly changing. Yet we often live as if we can hold it all in place. We struggle, we cling, we hope things will stay just as they are, but they never do. And maybe, just maybe, that's not a problem. Maybe it's the way it's supposed to be. Let's take a simple example. Think about the seasons. No matter how much we love spring, it turns into summer. Summer fades into fall, and fall gives way to winter. Life, too, moves in these natural cycles. When we try to stop them, we only create more suffering. But when we understand them, we start to feel more free. Welcome to Wisdom Woven, a space where we explore timeless truths to bring peace and clarity into our lives. If you found even a moment of calm or insight in these words, please take a second to support this journey. There's so many views on this channel, but only 0.2% subscribed. So please like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. And most importantly, drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk, let's grow. First, type Namo Buddha in the comments to stay energized and mindful for what's coming next. Buddhism teaches us that impermanence, or Anicca, is not just a thought, it's the very nature of life. Everything you love, everything you fear, every part of who you are is always changing. Understanding this isn't about sadness. It's about freedom. It's about learning how to let go, gently, wisely, and with open hands. This video isn't about religion. It's about life. It's about how we all, no matter our age or path, can suffer less by holding on less. We'll explore how letting go doesn't mean giving up, but instead, it means stepping into a deeper kind of strength, one that isn't shaken by change, but shaped by it. Stay with us as we begin this journey, one part at a time, into the power of letting go. Imagine a river flowing endlessly. The water you see is never the same water that was there a moment ago. It moves, changes, and transforms. This river is like life itself, always in motion, never standing still. This truth, this natural law of change, is at the heart of what Buddhists call Anicca, or impermanence. Impermanence is simple yet profound. It means that nothing in this world stays the same. Every feeling, every thought, every object you touch, every moment you live, everything is shifting, passing away. Sometimes change is gentle, like the slow fading of a sunset. Other times, it is sudden and unexpected, like a storm. But change happens. It cannot be stopped or controlled. We often resist this truth. We want things to stay as they are because we think permanence brings us safety and happiness. We hope for a perfect moment to last forever. But when we grasp for permanence, we set ourselves up for disappointment and suffering. Because the moment slips away, the feeling changes, the people we love grow different, and the world itself keeps turning. Buddhism teaches that understanding and accepting impermanence is the key to freedom. When we see clearly that all things are temporary, we stop clinging so tightly. We begin to live more fully in the present, appreciating what is here without the fear of losing it. This is not about being cold or detached. It is about opening our hearts wide enough to embrace the flow of life, in all its beauty and pain. Think of a leaf on a tree. One day it is green and full of life, basking in the sunlight. Another day it falls to the ground, dry and brown. This is nature's way. No leaf can stay green forever. If the leaf struggled to stay on the branch, it would only suffer. But the leaf doesn't resist, it accepts the change. This acceptance is what Buddhists call wisdom. In our lives, we are like that leaf. We try to hold on to youth, health, relationships, and success. But these too are like the leaf, ever-changing. When we learn to accept this truth, we find peace even when things change. We understand that loss and change are natural parts of life, not punishments or mistakes. Impermanence also means that everything is connected in a continuous flow. Just as the river flows and the leaf falls, our experiences come and go, influencing each other. One moment leads to the next, and everything is linked in a great cycle. This understanding helps us see beyond our small worries and fears to a larger view of life. In Buddhist practice, this is why meditation is so important. Meditation teaches us to watch our thoughts and feelings as they rise and fall, just like the river flows. We learn to see impermanence directly, not just as an idea, but as a living experience. When we meditate, we feel how sensations come and go, how moods change, and how the mind moves from one thought to another. This helps us let go of the illusion that anything stays fixed. Some people think that recognizing impermanence is sad or depressing, but it is quite the opposite. It can be very freeing and even joyful. When we know that pain will pass, we can face it without fear. When we know that happiness is fleeting, we learn to enjoy it more deeply. We stop clinging to one moment and open ourselves to all moments. Impermanence also teaches humility. It reminds us that no matter how much power or wealth we have, we cannot control the world's changes. We are part of a larger dance of life, and the more we accept this, the more graceful our steps become. Fighting against impermanence is like trying to stop the ocean from rising and falling. It is simply impossible. This truth is reflected in everything around us. The seasons change, people grow older, cities rise and fall, even mountains slowly wear down. Everything is in motion, even when it seems still. When we understand this, we stop fearing the future or regretting the past. We begin to live fully in the present moment. Living with the awareness of impermanence changes how we relate to ourselves and others. We become less attached to fixed ideas about who we are or what life should be. We learn to appreciate people as they are, not as we wish them to be. This helps us be more compassionate and kind, because we know everyone is also moving through change and loss. Impermanence is also the root of hope. Because nothing stays the same, difficult times will end. Pain and suffering are not permanent states. This gives us strength to keep going, to trust in the process of life, even when it feels hard. It can be difficult to let go. Our minds like to hold on, but each time we practice noticing impermanence, we build a little more freedom. It is like opening a window in a stuffy room. Fresh air comes in, and things start to feel lighter. Buddha taught that by deeply understanding impermanence, we can free ourselves from suffering. This is not just an idea to think about. It is a truth to feel and live. When you truly see impermanence, you begin to live without fear of loss. You begin to see life as a beautiful, ever-changing river, and you learn to flow with it instead of resisting. So next time you feel sadness or fear about change, remember the river and the leaf. Remember that everything is moving, and that this movement is life itself. Trust in this flow. Let go of the need to hold on tightly. Find peace in knowing that all things are temporary, and in that knowledge, find the power to be free. My friend, let's sit together for a moment and speak about something very important: attachment. You see, in life, much of our suffering comes not from what happens to us, but from how tightly we hold on to what we have or what we want to have. Like a child clutching a favorite toy so tightly that their fingers ache, we too grasp at people, things, memories, and even ideas, refusing to let go. Attachment is like a rope tied to a heavy stone. The stone is always pulling, weighing us down, keeping us from moving freely. We say, "This is mine," or "I must keep this," but in truth, the very act of holding on too tightly causes pain. We fear losing what we love, so we hold with clenched fists. But the harder we hold, the more we suffer. Why is this? Because everything around us changes. The people we love grow old. They change. Sometimes they leave. Our health, our wealth, even our very thoughts and feelings are not fixed. They're like waves on the ocean, rising and falling. When we cling to the wave, trying to keep it still, we only tire ourselves. But if we learn to ride the wave, to move with it instead of resisting, life becomes more gentle. Many ask, does letting go mean I stop caring? Does it mean I forget or give up? No, my friend, it is not that at all. Letting go is to hold things with open hands, not fists. It means loving deeply, but without the chains of possession. It means understanding that the flower you hold will wilt, but the joy it brought can still live in your heart. In Buddhism, this is a great teaching, that attachment is the root of suffering. We want to hold on to things that are fleeting. We are setting ourselves up for pain. It is like planting a seed of sorrow in the garden of our minds. But what about our attachments to people? Our children, friends, spouses? How can we simply let go? This is where true wisdom shines. Letting go does not mean turning away from love. It means loving with awareness. Loving with a clear mind that knows all things change. Imagine holding a bird in your hands. If you squeeze it tightly, it will hurt and try to escape. But if you cup your hands gently, the bird feels safe and may even choose to stay with you. This is the way of love without attachment. Attachment also binds us to illusions, ideas about how things should be. We want life to be a certain way, people that act as we wish, ourselves to be different than we are. These wishes become chains that limit us. When reality does not match our expectations, we feel disappointed, angry, or sad. This is suffering born from attachment to our own ideas. The Zen way is to see things as they are, not as we wish them to be. When you accept what comes, the good and the bad, without clinging, you find peace. The river flows, you do not stop it. You simply learn to swim with the current. Many of us also cling to the past. Memories, regrets, old stories that play again and again in the mind. These attachments create prisons of pain. The past cannot be changed, but we carry it as if it were a heavy load. Letting go means putting down that weight, step by step, moment by moment. And what about fear of the future? We cling to hope or worry. We try to control what has not yet arrived. This too is attachment. It creates anxiety and restlessness. The future is uncertain, always shifting like clouds in the sky. By holding onto it tightly, we lose the calm of the present. You see, the present moment is all we truly have. When we are caught in attachment, we miss the beauty of now. The warmth of sunlight, the sound of birds, the breath moving in and out. These simple gifts become invisible behind the curtain of craving and fear. To let go is to wake up. It is to see clearly that holding on is not safety, but bondage. It is to feel the freedom that comes when you release the need to control, to possess, to cling. This does not happen overnight. Letting go is a practice, a gentle journey. It requires patience, kindness toward yourself, and a quiet heart. Each time you notice yourself gripping tightly, pause. Breathe. Remind yourself that all things change. All things are temporary. You might wonder, if I let go, will I lose everything? No. In truth, when you let go of attachment, you open space for something deeper. Peace, joy, love without chains. Your heart becomes like a vast sky, spacious and free. In moments of suffering, remember this. Attachment is like holding sand tightly in your fist. The tighter you grip, the more it slips away. But if you open your hand, the sand stays. So it is with life. Open your hands, open your heart. This teaching is not about becoming cold or distant. It is about becoming fully alive, alive to the flow of life, alive to change, alive to the miracle of each moment. So, whenever you feel the urge to cling, to hold on too tight, gently remind yourself, this too shall pass. And in that simple awareness, find your freedom. Letting go of the past is like releasing a heavy stone from your back. Imagine carrying that stone for years. It weighs you down, slows you, and hurts your shoulders. The stone is your memories, your regrets, your pain. When you finally put it down, you feel lighter, freer. But why is it so hard to let go? Many people believe that holding on to the past keeps them safe. They think, if I remember the hurt, I will never make the same mistake again. Or, if I keep thinking about what was lost, I keep that person or moment alive. But in truth, holding on too tightly traps you in a cage of old feelings, making it difficult to live fully in the present. In Buddhism, we learn that the past is gone, like a river that has already flowed downstream. No matter how hard we try, we cannot step into that same water twice. Yet, our minds keep reaching back. We replay memories, sometimes with pain, sometimes with longing. This is natural, but it need not control us. Imagine a bird caught in a net. The bird struggles, flaps its wings, but the more it fights, the more tangled it becomes. Our mind does the same with the past. The more we resist, the more we suffer. The Zen way teaches us to gently untangle ourselves, not by force, but with kindness and patience. Letting go does not mean forgetting or denying what happened. It means accepting that what is done cannot be changed. When we accept this truth, we stop fighting the past. We stop letting it shape our emotions and our future. Acceptance is like opening the net for the bird. The bird is free to fly again. Think about the seasons again. Leaves fall, flowers wilt, but new life always comes. Our memories and experiences are like those leaves, beautiful but meant to fall away. When we hold on tightly, we miss the chance to see new blooms, new possibilities. There's a story about a monk who carried a heavy bag filled with stones. One day, the young disciple asked him, "Master, why do you carry this burden?" The monk smiled and said, "I carry my past." Then he opened the bag and let the stones fall to the ground. "Now," he said, "I am free to walk lightly." We carry invisible burdens too: guilt, anger, sadness. These weigh on our spirit. Letting go is the first step to freedom. It is not easy because our minds resist change. We feel safer in what is known, even if it hurts. But when you look deeply, you see that the past is just stories in your mind. These stories shape how you feel today. When you change your relationship with these stories, you change how you feel. You begin to see the present moment more clearly, with peace and openness. One way to practice this letting go is through breathing. When you notice a painful memory or feeling, do not push it away or dive into it. Instead, take a slow, deep breath. Feel the air into your body, then leave. With each breath, imagine the weight of that memory lifting, like a mist disappearing in the morning sun. Another way is to remind yourself that every feeling passes. Just as the sky is sometimes cloudy and sometimes clear, so are your emotions. When sadness or regret arises, tell yourself, "This too shall pass." You are not your past. You are the awareness that watches the past. Letting go also means forgiving, not only others but yourself. Forgiveness is not about saying what happened was okay. It is about releasing the hold that the past has over your heart. It is a gift you give yourself so you can heal. Sometimes people ask, if I let go of the past, won't I forget who I am? The answer is no. Your past shapes you, but it does not define you. Like a river carves a valley, but does not become the valley itself. Your experiences form your life, but are not all of who you are. When you stop holding on, you make space for new life, new joy, new peace. You become like a clear mirror, reflecting the world as it is, not clouded by old hurts. This is the power of letting go. It opens the door to freedom. It allows you to live lightly, with less fear and more love. It is not a one-time event, but a practice, a daily choice to release what no longer serves you. Every moment is an opportunity to let go. When you wake in the morning, you can choose to leave behind yesterday's worries. When a painful thought arises, you can watch it without grabbing it. When you face difficult feelings, you can breathe into them and gently release. Letting go is also an act of courage. It means facing your pain without hiding. It means trusting that life will carry you forward, even when the ground seems uncertain. Remember, the past is like a shadow. It follows you only as far as you allow. Step out of the shadow into the light of now. Feel the warmth of the present moment. Know that by letting go, you are not losing, but gaining peace, freedom, and a heart open to life. So, dear one, as you walk this path, be gentle with yourself. Let go slowly with kindness. Know that every step away from the past is a step toward your true self, free, whole, and alive. This journey is not about perfection, but presence. It is not about forgetting, but releasing. It is not about giving up, but opening up to all that life offers in its beautiful, ever-changing flow. Welcome. Let us sit together and reflect on something very simple, yet often very difficult to understand: the present moment. It is the only moment we truly have. Not the past, which is gone, nor the future, which is yet to arrive. Just this moment right now. Many people spend their lives chasing after things, hoping for better days ahead, wishing for what was, or even trying to control what will come. But all this time, the present moment quietly waits for us. It asks us to notice it, to embrace it, and to live fully within it. When we learn to accept the present moment as it is, something remarkable happens. The heavy weight of regret about the past begins to lift. The anxious grasping for the future softens. Our minds, which are often scattered and restless, start to settle like water that has been stirred but now becomes still. This acceptance is not about giving up or becoming passive. It is a deep kind of strength, a strength born from knowing that life unfolds in its own way. The wind cannot be held, the river cannot be stopped. When we stop fighting what is, we find peace. Consider this. We try to hold onto a handful of sand tightly. The grains slip through your fingers. But if you gently cup your hands, allowing some space, the sand stays longer. Life is like this too. When we grasp too tightly onto moments, feelings, or people, they often slip away, causing pain. But when we hold them gently, with openness, we honor their nature of change. It takes courage to face the present moment fully. Often we avoid it because it brings discomfort, pain, uncertainty, or sadness. But to live fully is to live with all of life's colors: joy and sorrow, peace and struggle. Each feeling has its place, and none lasts forever. Buddha said that life is like a river, always flowing and never the same. When you try to swim against the current, you tire and struggle. But when you learn to flow with the river, you move with ease and grace. So, how do we accept the present moment? First, we must stop resisting what is. This does not mean we give up on change or improvement. It means we stop fighting reality as it stands now. When you feel pain, don't push it away. Instead, breathe and allow it to be. Notice it without judgment. This simple act of awareness can transform how you experience difficulty. Next, practice bringing your attention back to the here and now. The mind loves to wander, to worry about the past or the future. But with gentle effort, you can bring it back to the breath, to the sounds around you, to the sensations of your body. This practice, often called mindfulness, helps anchor you in the present. When you live in the present, you begin to see the beauty in simple things. The warmth of the sun, the smile of a loved one, the taste of a meal, all become richer because you are fully there to experience them. This moment, this breath, is a gift. It may be small and quiet, but it holds everything. When you open yourself to it, you open yourself to life itself. Many of us carry burdens from the past, regrets, guilt, or loss. We also carry worries about the future, fears, hopes, and endless planning. These are natural, but they often distract us from now. Remember, the past is a story in your mind, and the future is not yet real. Only the present moment is alive. To live in the present is to touch the true nature of life. It is to understand that everything is temporary: feelings, thoughts, even our own bodies. When we accept this, we can face life with greater peace. Letting go of the need to control what happens next is one of the hardest lessons, but also one of the most freeing. Life will unfold as it will, with or without our plans. When we try to hold on tightly, we cause ourselves suffering. When we release that tight grip, we find space to breathe. Imagine a leaf floating on a stream. If the leaf fights the current, it will be torn and broken. If it lets go and flows, it moves gently and gracefully. We're like that leaf. When we accept the present and let go of resistance, we move through life with more ease. You may ask, but what about goals? What about responsibility? Accepting the present moment does not mean abandoning your life or your duties. It means meeting each task with full attention and calmness. When your mind is clear and present, you act with wisdom, not haste or fear. In every moment, there is a choice to cling or to let go, to resist or to accept, to suffer or to be at peace. The more you practice living in the present, the easier it becomes to make the choice that leads to peace. Pain and joy both come and go. When you watch them without clinging, they lose their power to disturb you deeply. Like waves on the ocean, feelings rise and fall, but the ocean remains calm underneath. To accept the present is to recognize the truth of impermanence. This is the heart of Buddhist teaching, that all things change. When you deeply know this, you no longer fear change or loss. Think about your own life. Moments of happiness and sadness have passed through, like clouds drifting across the sky. None lasts forever. Each moment is a chance to start fresh, to breathe, to be alive. Letting go of the past does not mean forgetting it. It means learning from it and then releasing the hold it has over you. Letting go of worry about the future means trusting that life will unfold as it should. This trust does not come easily. It grows slowly, with patience and practice. But each time you return to the present moment, you plant a seed of peace in your heart. Living in the present is not always easy. The mind often pulls us away with stories and distractions. But like training a muscle, mindfulness grows stronger with use. When you feel overwhelmed, pause. Take a deep breath. Notice what is around you. Feel your feet on the ground. This simple act brings you home to now. In this home of presence, you find the strength to face whatever comes. You are no longer caught in the past or lost in the future. You are here, alive, whole. Remember, the present moment is like a precious jewel. It shines only when you pay attention. Don't let it slip away unnoticed. In this moment, you can find freedom. Freedom from fear, from regret, from endless longing. Freedom to simply be. So, practice acceptance. Practice presence. Each moment you do, you weave a thread of peace into the fabric of your life. This is the path of wisdom, the path that Buddha showed long ago, the path that leads not to clinging, but to liberation. As you walk this path, know that you are never alone. The river of life flows through all beings, connecting us in this dance of impermanence. Embrace the present with open hands and open heart. Let go of what weighs you down. Trust the unfolding of life. And in this trusting, you find joy, not in what stays, but in what flows. This is the power of accepting the present moment. This is the power of living fully, here and now. Imagine for a moment you're holding a handful of water. You try to squeeze it tight to keep it from slipping through your fingers. But the harder you squeeze, the faster the water escapes. This is the way of life. We all try to hold on to things, to control what happens to us. We want to shape our world perfectly. Our health, our loved ones, our money, and even our feelings. Yet, just like the water, life flows on its own, no matter how much we try to grasp it. The truth is, control is an illusion. We think we can command a river, but the river will always find its own path. The more we resist this natural flow, the more pain and suffering we create. We struggle because we expect life to behave as we want it to, instead of accepting how it really is. But what if we could see control differently? Not as something we must have, but as something we can gently release? In Zen, we speak often of surrender. But this surrender is not about giving up or being weak. It is a deep, wise understanding that some things are simply beyond our hands. We accept the things we cannot change, not because we are powerless, but because we have clarity and peace. This surrender is a strength, a freedom that comes when we stop fighting the waves and instead learn to ride them. Consider the wind. We cannot stop it, and no matter how much we want the air to stay still, the wind will blow as it will. If you stand in the wind and try to push it away with your hands, you will only tire yourself. But if you lean into it, move with it, you can stand firm without resistance. This is the art of letting go. So why do we cling so tightly? Because control feels like safety. When we control, we feel secure. But this security is fragile and temporary. When something we try to hold on to changes or slips away, the shock can be painful. We feel lost, afraid, or angry. But when we let go of the need to control, we open the door to a different kind of safety, a deep calm that nothing outside can shake. Life, in its very nature, is unpredictable. Illness, loss, change, these are not exceptions but the rule. Trying to control life is like trying to catch the wind with your hands. But when we see clearly that control is an illusion, we can relax. We begin to live with the natural rhythm of the world instead of battling against it. In Buddhist teachings, this is called letting go of attachment, not just to things but to our ideas about how life must be. When we cling to how things should be, we set ourselves up for suffering. But when we open our hands and accept what is, we find peace. This is not resignation. It is a powerful awareness. Imagine you're a tree in a storm. If you resist the wind by standing rigid and stiff, you might break. But if you bend with the breeze, you survive. The tree does not try to control the storm. It surrenders to it wisely. So must we learn to live with life's storms. You might wonder, if I stop trying to control, will I become careless? Will I lose my drive to live well? The answer is no. True surrender comes with responsibility. It means doing what you can without forcing what you cannot. It means working hard, but accepting the results as they come. It means loving deeply, but allowing others their freedom. It means planning, but being ready to change plans. It means acting with intention, but releasing the outcome. When we practice this way, we find a balance. We become like the river, flowing around obstacles, adjusting course as needed, but always moving forward. We no longer waste energy on fear or anger about what cannot be changed. Instead, we use our strength to face life with calmness and clarity. This wisdom teaches us to distinguish between what is within our control and what is not. Our thoughts, our actions, our words, these are within our power. But the weather, other people's choices, the passing of time, these are not. Focusing on what we can change gives us freedom and peace. Trying to control what we cannot is like chasing shadows. When you start to notice this in your life, you will see how often you fight against what already is. You may catch yourself pushing against reality, wishing your health were better, wishing loved ones stayed the same, wishing troubles disappeared. This awareness is the first step. Then comes the gentle practice of letting go. This is not easy. Our minds resist change, and our hearts cling to comfort. But with patience, day by day, moment by moment, surrender becomes natural. Like a leaf that falls when its time comes, we learn to release. We stop grasping at the past, stop fearing the future, and rest in the present. Zen masters teach that peace does not come from controlling the world outside, but from mastering the world inside. When we let go of the illusion of control, we find a deep stillness within. This stillness is not empty. It is full of wisdom, kindness, and courage. It holds us steady no matter what comes. So the next time you feel the urge to grab tightly at life, remember the water slipping through your fingers. Remember the wind that cannot be stopped. Remember the tree that bends without breaking. And choose surrender, not as defeat, but as the greatest freedom. Surrender opens the heart. It makes space for joy, for love, for peace. It allows life to flow as it will, and us to flow with it. This is the power of letting go with wisdom. In this practice, you become like the sky, vast, open, unshaken by passing clouds. The more you surrender, the lighter you become. The less you cling, the more alive you feel. And this is the true secret. To live fully, we must let go fully. To hold tightly is to suffer. To release is to be free. When you embrace this truth, you will find peace that no storm can steal. Let your life be like the river, the wind, the tree, flowing, bending, enduring with grace. Trust in the natural flow, trust in yourself, and find freedom in surrender. Imagine you have a beautiful garden. You plant a flower and you watch it grow. You care for it every day. But what if you try to hold the flower in your hand forever? What would happen? The flower would wilt, it would lose its beauty, and eventually it would fade away. The same is true with the people we love. In life, relationships are like flowers. They bloom, they grow, they sometimes wither. We want to hold on tightly to the ones we care about. But clinging too hard only causes pain, both for us and for them. In the teachings of Zen and Buddhism, there's a gentle wisdom. True love is not holding too tight. It is loving without grasping. Many times, people believe that love means possession, that if we love someone, they should stay with us always, think as we do, be what we want. But this is not love. This is attachment. Attachment binds us. It traps us in fear, in control, in suffering. When we hold on to others with fear, fear of losing them, fear of being alone, we create walls, not bridges. But what if we looked at relationships differently? What if love was like a river flowing? The water touches the stones, nourishes the plants, and moves on. It does not cling to one place, yet it is always present. Love in this way is free and alive. When we cling, we may say to ourselves, if I let go, I will lose this person. Yet, paradoxically, holding on too tightly may push them away. People sense when they're trapped. They need space to breathe, to be themselves. When we give them that space, we open the door to deeper connection. Compassion without clinging means we care deeply for others, but we do not try to control their lives. We accept them as they are, not as we want them to be. This acceptance brings peace, both to ourselves and to those we love. When a loved one is angry or sad, we do not try to fix or change them immediately. Instead, we listen. We simply hold space for their feelings without judgment. We allow them to be. This is letting go of control, not giving up but trusting the flow of life. Sometimes, relationships change. People grow apart, or circumstances shift. This can feel like loss, like pain. Yet this change is natural. When we resist it, we suffer more. When we accept it, we find peace. To let go in relationships is not easy. The heart wants security. It wants certainty, but life itself is uncertain. Even the closest bonds may not last forever. The Zen way teaches us to embrace this uncertainty, to find strength in it. One way to practice this is to look deeply at your own feelings. When you feel the urge to cling or control, pause and breathe. Ask yourself gently, am I trying to hold on because I love or because I fear? Fear binds, love frees. By becoming aware of our fears, we can slowly loosen the grip. This does not mean we stop caring. It means we care in a way that respects the freedom of others and our own freedom too. A wise saying tells us, if you love someone, set them free. If they return, they were always yours. If they don't, they never were. This is not about chasing or losing. It is about understanding the true nature of connection. In letting go, we create space for joy and growth. When we stop trying to control, we open our hearts wider. We become more patient, more kind, more understanding. We stop expecting others to be perfect or to behave as we want. Instead, we see them as they truly are, with all their beauty and flaws. This acceptance allows love to grow naturally. Like the garden that blooms in its own time, relationships flourish when nurtured with freedom and respect. It is also important to let go of the need to fix others. Often, we try to change our loved ones because we believe our way is better or because their suffering hurts us. But each person's path is their own. Our role is not to control, but to support. When we accept this, we reduce suffering, both theirs and ours. We learn patience, which is one of the greatest gifts of love. Sometimes letting go means saying goodbye. This is the hardest lesson. But even in parting, love can remain. Love is not possession. It is a deep connection that can transcend distance and time. Even when relationships end, the kindness and compassion we shared can live on in our hearts. This is the true power of letting go. By practicing non-attachment, we do not lose what is valuable. Instead, we protect it from suffering caused by clinging. We learn to appreciate moments as they come and go. This awareness brings peace. It helps us face life's changes without fear. It helps us love fully, without needing to own or control. The Zen way teaches us to live with open hands, not clenched fists, to give without strings, to receive without expectations. When we do this, we find that our relationships become less stressful and more joyful. We feel lighter, freer, and more connected. This does not mean we stop caring or loving deeply. On the contrary, love that is free from attachment is stronger, purer, and more lasting. So, next time you feel the urge to cling or control in your relationships, remember the flower and the river. Remember that love flows best when it is allowed to be free. Practice patience with yourself and others. Practice compassion without clinging. In this way, you will find that letting go is not loss, it is liberation. It is the beginning of a peace that can carry you through any change, any challenge. Love is not about holding on tightly. Love is about allowing life to flow in and out, near and far, meeting and parting. And in this flow, there's a deep, unshakable joy. Imagine the gentle flow of a river. It moves steadily, never rushing, never stopping. It carries leaves, branches, and sometimes even small stones. Over time, the river changes the shape of the land, carving new paths and smoothing rough edges. Like this river, life moves forward, always changing, always flowing. This is the way of nature, the way of all things. Nothing stays the same. This includes us. Aging is part of this great flow. Just as the seasons turn, so do the years pass for every living being. Many people fear aging. They see it as losing what once was strength, beauty, or vitality. But aging is not something to fight against. It is the natural unfolding of life. The wrinkles that appear, the gray hair that shows, the slower steps we take, all these are signs that life has been lived. And there is dignity in that. When we understand this deeply, we start to see aging differently. It is not a punishment or a loss. It is a reminder that life is precious because it does not last forever. The Buddha said, "All that is born must die." This teaching is not meant to bring sadness, but to awaken us to the truth. When we accept our mortality, we stop wasting energy on fear and resistance. Instead, we learn to appreciate each moment as a gift. In many cultures, growing older is seen as gaining wisdom. The more years one lives, the more experience one gathers. Like the river, the mind can smooth out its rough edges with time. When we let go of illusions of permanence, we become lighter. We carry less burden. We can enjoy the simple things, a warm breeze, a smile from a loved one, the sound of birds singing. But why is it so hard to accept aging? Because our minds often want to hold on to youth, to what feels familiar and safe. We see youth as strength and beauty as value. We compare ourselves to others and feel fear when those qualities change or fade. This fear leads to sadness, anger, or even denial. We try to cover gray hairs or avoid mirrors. But these actions only increase our suffering. The way to peace is to change our view. Instead of fighting the truth of aging, we embrace it. We remember that life is like a candle flame, flickering in the wind. It shines brightly, but it will eventually burn out. The flame does not suffer because it knows it is temporary. Neither should we. The Buddhist teaching on impermanence invites us to look deeply at life's changes. Nothing lasts forever. Not youth, not health, not even life itself. When we fully understand this, we can stop clinging to what must pass. This does not mean giving up on life. On the contrary, it means living fully in the present, with open eyes and a peaceful heart. Mortality, then, is not something to fear, but something to respect. It teaches us humility. It reminds us to cherish the people we love while they are here. It urges us to speak kind words and act with compassion. When we know life will end, each moment becomes more valuable, each breath more precious. In Zen, we often say, do not seek the truth. Just drop your opinions. Holding tightly to ideas about how life should be only causes suffering. When we accept the reality of aging and death, we free ourselves from many worries. We learn to flow like the river, not fighting against the current, but moving with it. This acceptance opens a door. Beyond fear of aging and death, there is peace. This peace is not dependent on the body or external conditions. It arises from within, in the mind that sees clearly. It is a quiet confidence that comes from knowing life is always changing, and that is exactly as it should be. Some may ask, if everything is temporary, why try to do anything at all? The answer is simple, because life is precious precisely because it is temporary. Like a flower that blooms for only a short time, our lives are brief moments in the vastness of time. This brevity makes our actions more meaningful, our kindness more powerful, our love more sincere. To live well as we age, we practice letting go. Letting go of regrets about the past. Letting go of fears about the future. Letting go of the idea that our worth depends on youth or appearance. Instead, we hold on to what truly matters: compassion, gratitude, and presence. Gratitude helps us see the beauty in each day, even when the body is not as strong as before. Compassion connects us to others who also face the flow of life. Presence allows us to experience the world directly, without the cloud of worries or distractions. Meditation and mindfulness are tools that support this letting go. They teach us to observe thoughts and feelings without getting caught in them. When we see aging thoughts arise, we don't resist. We simply watch them pass like clouds in the sky. This gentle awareness softens the grip of fear and opens space for peace. The process is gradual. Sometimes we may feel sadness or loneliness as we face the changes aging brings. This is natural. The Buddha taught that suffering is part of life. But suffering can also teach us. It can deepen our understanding and strengthen our compassion. In time, many find that aging brings freedom. Freedom from chasing illusions. Freedom from needing to prove ourselves. Freedom to just be in whatever form life takes. This freedom is the true treasure. When we see the whole picture, the cycle of birth, aging, illness, and death, we begin to appreciate life's delicate balance. We learn not to fear the dark, but to recognize it as part of the dance of existence. Just as night makes the stars shine brighter, the awareness of our mortality can brighten the joy in living. In this way, aging and mortality are not enemies. They are teachers. They show us how to live with open hearts and clear minds. They invite us to let go of attachments and embrace the present moment fully. So, as the river flows on, changing the land but never losing its way, let us flow with life's changes. Let us welcome the seasons of our own lives with patience, gratitude, and love. In doing so, we find peace that does not depend on time, but grows deeper with each passing day. This is the path of wisdom, the path that understands all things are temporary, and in that truth finds the power to let go. Emotional release, grief, loss, and moving forward. Let me tell you a truth that no one can escape. In this life, you will lose things. You will lose people. You will lose moments. You will lose even the version of yourself that you used to be. And when that loss comes, it will bring with it a great weight. One that settles in the chest, closes the throat, and fills the eyes with tears. This is grief, and it visits all of us. We cannot stop grief from coming, but we can learn how to sit with it. We can learn not to fear it. In fact, we must, because grief is not the enemy. Grief is the proof that something mattered, that someone was loved, that time was shared, but the moment was real. In Buddhism, we are taught that all things are temporary, not to make us cold or distant, but to help us hold things more gently. When we cling tightly, the pain of loss becomes sharper. But when we learn to open our hands, the letting go becomes softer. Still painful, yes, but not bitter, not twisted, just deeply human. When someone we love dies, or when we lose a relationship, a home, a dream, it feels as if the ground has disappeared beneath us. We search for something to hold on to, but nothing stays. And so, the heart aches, and the mind runs wild, full of memories, regrets, and what-ifs. This is natural. It is not weakness. It is not failure. It is part of the path. Many people try to run from grief. They distract themselves. They keep busy. They pretend to be fine. But grief doesn't disappear just because we turn away. It waits patiently. It finds its way through cracks in the silence. And it only grows heavier when ignored. The only way to release it is to feel it. So feel it. Let the tears come. Let the silence sit. Let the nights feel long. Allow yourself to miss them. Allow yourself to wish things were different. But do it without judgment. Grief is not a problem to solve. It's a process to walk through. Sometimes you may feel like you are drowning in sadness. But know this, sadness is not a permanent state. It moves, just like the clouds in the sky. Some days are gray, others are clear. But the sky, your inner self, remains. You are more than the weather of your emotions. You are the space they pass through. When you release emotions, you are not forgetting. You are honoring. You are saying, this mattered to me, and now I'll let it move through me. In Buddhist practice, we do not push emotions away. We notice them. We sit with them. We bow to them. And slowly they loosen. They become lighter. One of the most powerful things you can do is simply breathe. Just sit quietly and breathe. Feel your chest rise and fall. Feel your feet on the ground. Let the moment be what it is. The mind may wander. The heart may hurt. But you are still here. And you are still alive. And life, even after loss, still holds beauty. It may feel distant at first, like a soft sound far away. But it returns. Slowly. Gently. It could be in the sound of birds at sunrise. In the warmth of a hand held. In the kindness of a stranger. In the quiet strength that grows inside you when you thought you had none left. You may wonder, how long will I grieve? There is no fixed answer. It takes the time it takes. It may never fully disappear, but will change shape. It becomes less sharp, more like a scar than a wound. A reminder, not a prison. And through that scar, love still shines. Letting go is not forgetting. Letting go is not abandoning. It is simply seeing the truth clearly, that holding on to pain does not keep someone close. Love does not live in suffering. Love lives in memory, in gratitude, in the quiet acts of carrying their spirit forward. You might feel guilt. Guilt for laughing again. Guilt for moving on. Guilt for not being able to cry anymore. But there is no right way to grieve. Your heart knows the way. Trust it. Listen to it. Be kind to it. You do not need to punish yourself to prove that you cared. Letting go of grief doesn't mean we erase the past. It means we make space for the present. It means we take the lessons, the love, the connection, and allow it to live on, not as pain, but as wisdom, as compassion, as a softer way of walking through the world. If you've lost someone, remember, you are not alone. The person next to you, the neighbor, the stranger in the market, they carry their own stories of loss. When we accept this, we grow in empathy. We become gentler with each other, more understanding, more connected. Sometimes the grief you carry is not for someone who died, but for someone who changed, for a relationship that ended, for a child who grew up, for a dream that didn't come true. These are all real losses. They deserve space. They deserve silence. They deserve your care. And then there is the grief for who you used to be, the younger version of yourself, the one who was full of hope, the one who didn't yet know pain. That version is gone too, but they led you here, and they would be proud to see how far you've come. Even through sorrow, you're still walking. As we move forward, we do not move on from the ones we've loved. We move forward with them. We carry them in our choices, in the way we treat others, in the strength we find when we thought we had none. That is how love continues, not by clinging, but by becoming. So let it go, not all at once. Not quickly, but gently, with kindness. Let the emotions pass through. Let the tears fall. Let the silence stretch. But also let the sunlight in. Let joy come back, even if only for a moment. Let the world remind you that life still offers gifts, even after great loss. This is not forgetting. This is not leaving behind. This is walking the path. This is allowing grief to transform from something heavy and dark into something meaningful and light, from sorrow into compassion, from pain into peace. The Buddha taught us that even the deepest sorrow is not forever, that healing comes not from force, but from presence, from patience, from understanding, and most of all, from the simple willingness to feel, to release, and to begin again. That is the power of letting go. That is the gift of impermanence. Listen carefully, my friend. Life is like a river flowing through the mountains, always moving, never still. To live is to move with that flow, not against it. To live lightly is to carry only what is needed, to let go of what weighs you down. The heart that clings tightly becomes heavy and tired. The heart that lets go feels light and free. When we hold on too tightly to things, to people, to memories, we create suffering for ourselves. But when we understand that everything is temporary, everything can change, our mind can find rest. Imagine carrying a heavy bag full of stones. Each stone is a worry, a fear, a regret. The more stones you carry, the more tired you become. But what if you put down that bag? How much lighter would your steps be? How much clearer would your path look? This is the power of living lightly. It is the art of letting go. Letting go does not mean we stop caring. No, it means we care deeply, but without chains. It means loving fully, but without grasping. It means appreciating beauty, but not trying to trap it. When we live this way, joy comes not from holding on, but from the freedom to experience life as it unfolds. In the teachings of Zen, there's a saying, "Let go or be dragged." This is not a warning, but an invitation. To let go is to wake up. To let go is to see clearly. To let go is to be alive in the present moment. When you cling to the past, you miss the now. When you cling to the future, you lose the present. But the present, the simple, quiet now, is where life truly happens. Imagine a leaf floating on a stream. The leaf does not resist the water. It does not try to stay in one place. It simply floats, carried by the current. Sometimes it moves quickly, sometimes slowly, sometimes it dips under the surface, sometimes it rises again. The leaf is free because it does not fight the flow. Can you be like that leaf? Living lightly means accepting change as a friend, not an enemy. When the seasons change, the tree does not fight. It lets go of old leaves, trusting new ones will come. So too, must we trust life's rhythms. Let the old fall away. Old hurts, old grudges, old fears. Only then can new growth begin. In this way, joy is not a thing to chase or hold on to. Joy is a natural result of letting go. When your mind is free from the weight of clinging, joy flows like a clear spring. It bubbles up from deep within, shining softly in your heart. This joy is gentle, steady, and true. It does not depend on circumstances. It is not shaken by loss or change. It simply is. You might ask, but how can I live lightly when life demands so much from me? When responsibilities weigh heavy and troubles never end? This is the path of wisdom, to carry what you must, but to leave behind what you can. To do your best without becoming attached to the results. To work hard, but not let success or failure define your happiness. Think about a skilled dancer. The dancer moves with grace, light on their feet. They do not hold their steps rigidly. They adapt, they flow, they respond. Their movements are alive because they're not fixed. Life, too, calls for this kind of dance. The dance of presence, the dance of ease. When you practice living lightly, you begin to see the world with fresh eyes. You notice the simple pleasures, the warmth of sunlight, the coolness of a breeze, the smile of a stranger. These small gifts become treasures because you are open to them, not distracted by worry or clinging. There is a story from Zen tradition about a monk who was asked how to find happiness. The monk replied, "Do not chase after happiness. Let it come when you let go of the need to hold on." This wisdom is old, yet it is always new. It reminds us that happiness is not a thing we possess, but a way of being. Living lightly also means forgiving. When you forgive, you release the heavy burden of anger and bitterness. You open your heart to peace. Forgiveness is not forgetting, nor is it condoning harm. It is simply choosing to free yourself from suffering. Like putting down the heavy stones in your bag, forgiveness lightens your spirit. As you walk this path, you will notice your fears begin to lose their power. Fear often grows from clinging. Fear of losing, fear of change, fear of the unknown. When you learn to live lightly, fear softens because you trust life's flow. You understand that loss is part of the journey, and endings are the doorway to new beginnings. Remember, too, that living lightly is not about loneliness or emptiness. It is about fullness, a fullness that comes from being deeply connected to the present moment. It is a richness that cannot be taken away because it is born inside you, in the quiet space where no change can touch. To live lightly is a practice. It is not something you achieve once and then forget. Every day, every moment invites you to let go a little more. Let go of your judgments, your worries, your need to control. Step into the lightness of being, where you can move freely with whatever life brings. When you live lightly, even difficulties become teachers. Pain becomes a way to understand yourself more deeply. Challenges become opportunities to practice patience and compassion. You begin to see that nothing is wasted in this life. Even the hard moments have their purpose. There's a gentle peace that comes when you stop holding on so tightly. Your breath becomes easier, your heart softer, your mind clearer. You learn to trust that life will unfold as it should, and you can walk with it, not against it. So, friend, ask yourself, what can I let go of today? What stones am I still carrying that I no longer need? What old leaf can I release so new ones may grow? There is no rush. This is your journey, and each step, no matter how small, brings you closer to living lightly and joyfully. Remember, living lightly is not about having less. It is about needing less. It is about freedom. Freedom to experience life fully, with a heart open wide, without fear or grasping. This is the beauty of the temporary. It teaches us to cherish the moment and to find joy not in owning, but in simply being. Embrace the flow of life. Be like the leaf on the stream, like the tree in the wind. Let your heart be light, your spirit free, and your joy gentle but deep. This is the way of living lightly. This is the way to true happiness. The final step on this path we have walked together. The moment to understand the beauty of transience and the true power of letting go. Listen closely, for this is not the end, but a gentle beginning. Life, like the river flowing past your feet, never stops. It moves on, unceasing, carrying everything with it. Moments, memories, joys, sorrows, all passing like clouds across the sky. And yet, within this endless change, there's a quiet peace waiting for you. You see, everything you have ever known, everything you have loved or lost, was never meant to stay. This is the nature of existence. The flowers bloom, then wither. The sun rises, then sets. You grow older, the world around you changes, and your heart carries stories that time will never erase, but it will gently transform. This truth may sound harsh to the mind that clings, but to the heart that understands, it is the greatest gift. When you let go, you are not giving up on life. You are embracing it fully. Like a bird releasing its grip on a branch, it does not fall, but soars higher. To let go is to open your hands and your heart, to welcome each moment without fear or regret. This is the power that frees you from suffering, that allows you to live with lightness and grace. Many believe that strength comes from holding tight to people, to things, to ideas. But true strength comes from knowing when to release. When you hold on too tightly, you hurt yourself. The energy that is wasted in clinging is the same energy that could be used to create peace and joy. To let go is to create space, space for new experiences, new love, new growth. Think of your life as a great tree. Its branches stretch wide, leaves dance with the wind, and every year, some leaves fall to the ground. The tree does not mourn the loss of leaves. Instead, it welcomes the change, knowing new leaves will come. So too must you learn to embrace the falling leaves of your own life. The moments, the people, the feelings that are no longer with you. It is natural to fear loss. Fear is the mind's way of trying to protect us. But what if you could see loss not as an ending, but as transformation? What if every goodbye was a silent yes to something new? When you understand impermanence, you begin to see the world as a dance. A beautiful, ever-changing dance where every step is precious because it cannot be repeated. This understanding is not just for quiet moments of reflection. It is for every breath you take, every smile you share, every tear you shed. Letting go is an act of courage. It takes courage to face the truth that nothing lasts forever. And yet, in that very truth, you find freedom. Remember the stories you've carried in your heart. Some brought joy, others pain. Each story shaped you, but none owns you. Like waves in the ocean, they come and go. The ocean itself remains calm beneath the surface. You are like that ocean, vast, deep, and serene, even when waves rise and fall. When sadness visits, do not resist it. When happiness blooms, do not clutch it tightly. Allow each feeling to come and go, like the changing weather. This is the path to peace, not by chasing permanence, but by welcoming change. In this welcoming, you become whole. There's a deep wisdom in this simple truth: nothing lasts. Everything changes. This is not loss. It is life. And life is beautiful in its constant flow. To hold on is to miss the dance. To let go is to join it fully. Now, as you sit with these words, know that letting go does not mean forgetting. It means remembering in a way that frees you from pain. It means loving without chains, living without fear, and moving forward with open eyes and a peaceful heart. This path is always available to you, no matter where you are in life. You can practice it with every breath. When a thought clings, gently let it go. When emotion tightens, breathe into it and release. With patience, your heart will become lighter. Your mind will become clearer. And in that clarity, you will find the true meaning of life. Not in holding on to what fades, but in embracing what is here, right now, in this moment. This moment is your only home, is the gift you've been given. Do not let it slip away unnoticed. You have walked far. You have learned much. But the greatest lesson is simple. Be present. Be open. Be free. As you step forward from this place, carry this wisdom gently in your heart. Share it with others. Live it every day. The power of letting go is the power of living fully. Thank you for walking this path with wisdom woven. If these words have touched you, I invite you to like, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel. Your support helps bring this message to others who seek peace. Please, drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let us build a community of calm and understanding together. And now, before we part, write Namo Buddha in the comments to honor the energy that guides us all. May your journey be peaceful. May your heart be light. May you always remember, the only thing that truly lasts is this moment, here and now. Let go. Live fully. Be free.